So y'all, it took me a while to even get to this point of sharing this with you guys, but and this is probably take 5. I tried to do a little something different with the mic, but I can just adjust my volume on my video. Okay guys, so guys, welcome to another video. I'm Zach L. Grace here at AuthenticallyZ. I discuss everything from faith, style, and motherhood. My testimony, I don't know how people normally share, but I'm just speaking from the heart. I have no notes, no nothing. This is all just coming out just as it is. Okay guys, so my faith walk for me started in 2017. I felt like that's when I began to open up my heart. It wasn't that much, but maybe a little bit, to God. I began feeling like that my life where it was, it's not where I wanted it to be. I was married, I had family, I had friends, but I was not fulfilled, and I felt like something was missing. So I began to open up my heart to God, and I went down this journey of just kind of wandering. God began to reveal to me and really started eliminating people out of my life, and I was questioning it. I had so many concerns. I wasn't understanding what was going on, but I was at that state of mind in my life where I was just letting things be. It was more of like a it is what it is type of attitude, and I wasn't fighting because I felt like as though I've given so many of my relationships, and that could be friendships, like intimate, I've given it so much that this is all I got and this is all you can get. So when I started having these issues with my friends, I'm gonna be honest with you, I pretty much was like kind of picturing and really doing an overview of my life and what relationships was benefit me and what wasn't. So I went down that journey, and when I tell you I went from almost maybe 25 to 30 friends to I can count all of my friends on one hand, that's when I really was just kind of like mind blowing, and God began to unpack. Fast forward, 2018 came, and I had one friend. She was kind of staggering along, but I knew something wasn't right. So I was going down this journey of I don't know if she, what. And when you're confused or you're concerned or you're not sure about a friendship, it's just not it. And so she eventually exit on, and then I found out I was pregnant. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was not happy when I found out I was pregnant. And reason being is because I knew the issues that me and my husband were having, and that was not how I wanted my baby to come into this world. And basically, like what I'm living now, I did not want that for my child. So when I found out I was pregnant in 2018, I cried, and it was not happy tears. It was more. Those tears were more of like devastation, hurt, sadness, because I know what I wanted for my baby, because I never wanted my baby to be born in a home of dysfunction. I just never wanted that for my child, because that's how I was raised. I was raised in dysfunction, trauma. My wounds and everything are full of trauma based off of my childhood. So I just never wanted that for my baby. So that was step 2. And my husband basically shared to me that we would have no worries, that everything's gonna be fine. Let's just kind of like take it easy, take it slow while you carry the baby. When we have the baby, we're gonna start a new journey and start beginning to build this family. And so I took his word. I did. And with that, by the end of 2018, my baby have arrived in October, and I'm gonna be honest with you, all hell broke loose.
Bruh.
Yeah, I started seeing my husband in a way that I was just, he had been doing things, but I was always good at forgiving and trusting and trying to move on. But it was one of those situations like, how can you forgive somebody when they keep doing the same freaking thing all over again? Because what happens is when somebody continues to do the same thing over again, it brings up all of the trust issues that you've had previously, and it brings it all back to surface. So it becomes, it's still an issue. This is still an issue if we're still dealing with this. And so what happened was, we had the baby, man, those 6 weeks, and I was just like, oh, I was like, okay, I know that they be talking about like these are the rough times of your marriage and stuff when you did it, but I did not like him. I didn't, and I couldn't understand what it was or why I did it, but it came to surface. December of 2018, I got hospitalized in the hospital, finding out that I had pneumonia. Went in thinking that I had a fractured rib or something like that, and I walked out. The lady was basically like, do you want to see your baby make 6 months? And I couldn't understand what she meant by that. She was like, she saw from the CT scan that I was not taking care of myself. She said, you're not taking care of yourself. She looked at my husband and said, you need to take care of this woman. Otherwise, she would not even be here in 2 more months. And I just couldn't understand. But it was a wake-up call for me. And I began to really question again. Once again, a whole year then went by. Like, what's going on? What is my purpose? I remember a night having my baby in my hand, just rocking and singing to him. And I was just like, I want so much more. And there's this song that I love so much. It's by, I don't know the author's name, but the song is, this is not enough. I don't know, I can't sing. But it was like, this is not enough. It just wasn't enough, you know. I did not feel fulfilled. You know, I had the baby. Me and my husband were working on purchasing a home. I had the family that I always wanted, but I felt empty. That is probably the worst feeling in the world, to be spiritually dead. And I always like to give this example. My soul was so empty, like literally it started taking effect on my physical being. Whew. Like my physical being was really dying. And the best example, I don't know if you guys seen the Marvel, like one of my favorite films is Marvel's Doctor Strange. And there was a scene where he took the apple and like he kept turning the apple, and it was like, it was fresh, then it was rotten. It was fresh, then it was rotten. Like that's how my inside was going. It was like, but it was going back and forth. It was just getting rotten and rotten, and I felt like I was decaying inside. And so and my spirit man was screaming out. And at that time, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, I have always been raised in the church. I think I came out, my mom prayed me out. But it was more of a religious magnitude versus a relationship with Christ. I never had a relationship with Christ, I'm gonna be honest with you, until that moment, until the end of December 2018, more of 2019, when I really started having a hunger for God and really understand, like, there gotta be better than this. And just know, guys, if you feeling like that, just know there is better. Because where I'm at right now, I'm exactly where I need to be. So in that moment, guys, I felt so empty, and I was just like, this is not it. God, please help me, show me if this what I need to do, what are my steps. I was so weak. And so fast forward to February of 2019, we were looking for homes. We were in the process of looking for home, and it was a quiet day. I never forget, it was a quiet day, and I felt in my spirit, the Holy Spirit was telling me, he's checked out. And I was just like, what do you mean? He was like, all I heard was, go ask him. He's checked out. And this is in the middle of, I heard, he's checked out. You need to begin to start looking for a home for you and your baby. Wait, what? I need to do what? I was so confused by that. So I was just like, you know what? The way I was at that point, I was just like, I don't have time for this. Like, I just want to raise my baby in a functional home. I went to him, I said, hey, is everything okay? And he just bust out in tears. He's like, I'm checked out. When he used those exact words the Holy Spirit had just told me, man, my mind was blown. So I was just like, you know what? I can't fight no more. Like, what is it? And he asked for the separation. And so I was like, okay, what are we talking about? Are we talking about separation to divorce, or separating to work on ourselves? Like, what are we actually doing? And he shared with me that he wanted to work on the marriage, like maybe we just need some time apart. I was fine with that, you know, because my whole thing is this: overall, when it comes down to anybody in any relationships that I have, let me know what it is. Like, I don't want to waste your time. We ain't got to waste each other's time. Like, what is it? You know, I love you, but I can love you at another address. Straight up, I don't have time. But anyway, don't string me along. Like, do not do that, because even though like I'm crisis, I'm still human. And I have come to the realization that the reason why they have these shows like Snap and 48 Hours is because of the situations like this and domestic violence and stuff like that. These are like one of the causes, not all the times, but this is why. So we're going through this process. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna leave and this and that. He didn't want me to go and this and that. It was a lot of emotional abuse, and if you don't know what that is, look that up. Emotional abuse is a real thing. To me, it could be worse. Like, don't play with my emotions, you know, don't do that. And so fast forward to the following week, and this is February, first week of February. It was some information that just came up literally on my lap, and I was completely livid. When you sleep deprived, breastfeeding, trying to balance your life, take care of a man that don't really care about you, and still be a good steward, as a wife and a helper, baby. See these right here? I'm not gonna lie, y'all, he called them. Hands were put on. And that is not me promoting. I do not promote violence, but that was the emotions. Like, I was tired, and for me, when that happened, I was just like, you know what, I don't want this life for this baby here, so I'm gonna do us both a solid and I'm gonna pack it up tonight. Like, and I'm talking about the next hour. By hour 2, I was out of there. And so throughout the year of 2019, I was literally going through my healing process, but in the same token, me and my husband, we were back and forth, and it was more of like, okay, are we gonna work this out, and I was always open. I was open a lot more, because I started doing some serious healing. I got me a therapist and I got me a life coach at the same time, because I really wanted to unpack some of the things that I knew, that the wounds that I was dealing with, because I wasn't doing that just for my husband, but I was doing it for my family. And I did not want it to be a space where I am taking out my trauma and my wounds on my baby boy. And that was important to me. There was a quote that I love. It's like, heal before you have to, they say, heal before you have to let somebody else heal from you, or something like that. I put the quote in the description. But that blew my mind, because I don't want that for my child, especially not for me. I can't dictate his walk of life, because that's God's job. But if it's gonna come from me, he's gonna get unconditional love from his mom, and I did not want to spill over my wounds into my child. So that's, for me, I began to do the work. The next month went by, and God had really told me that I needed to get my mind right, and that's where he began, I felt like, unpacking a lot in my life, because it took me into 2019 of last year to realize that I had not been taking care of myself at all, that I have been going down this people-pleasing, validation, worrying about what people think of me, serving out of pride and ego, and just based off of the wounds that I was carrying. And I can remember a lot of times in my marriage that I would find myself crying, I would find myself being emotional, and I couldn't understand why, but it was, my soul was crying out. So one thing that I can share with someone who is planning on getting married is to master singlehood first. And what does I mean by that? I mean to a point where you master yourself, that meaning that you know what you like, you know who you are, you know whose you are, and so that way when you get intertwined with somebody and you really start getting close to somebody into marriage, that you'll know some of the things that you're not going to deal with, and you'll know what some of the things that you will deal with, the do's and don'ts. One thing for me is, I can deal with you pooping with the door open, but what I can't deal with is adultery. Like, we're not finna do that, because I know that I won't do that to somebody, and I expect the same from me. So when I'm not receiving that back, for me, that's a no-go for me. And the fact that I was forgiven enough to forgive you and you continue, that was the ice on the cake for me. And that was where it's just like, enough is enough. It's been tough. This has not been an easy road. But I just want to thank God for getting me through this process. And getting me to now. And despite of how bad the situation happened and the months of drawn out just emotional abuse, I'm exactly where I need to be. And I have my hard days, trust me. I have highs and I have lows, but my highs are they outdo my lows. And I just thank God for his presence and him walking me through this journey, because it has not been easy. But we were built for hard. I don't look for any pity parties, because I know that there is glory from glory to this, because I am being a steward to Christ, and I'm here to share with anybody out there. So one thing that I did say in one of my videos, and I do want to clarify, it was a story time. I met my husband on a cruise ship. Something that I said and God kind of pointed out to me. I said in that video, take a risk. And God said risks are okay, but risks are not okay when it comes down to the matters of the heart. Why? Because pain, the worst pain that you can have is when it comes down to the matters of the heart. So when it comes down to risk, don't take no risks in your heart. You better watch and listen to those red flags. Be more aware. Allow God to choose a mate for you, not you choose a mate, because that's what happened. I chose that man, not God. And I'm understanding a lot of the diagramics of, me and my choices, and I'm being more spirit-led. So, I may be excited for a friendship. I may be open to a friendship. But if it's not something that is going to attain and be a part of my purpose, it serves no purpose in my life. And so I'm just grateful. There is a book that I wrote with more details. I didn't really give y'all a lot of details because a lot of it will be in my book. And if you guys want to be a part of the pre-ordering process, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you guys the introduction, allow you guys to read the introduction, and then you can purchase it from there or whatnot. But if you want to be on the list about when the book releases, there'll be a link in the description where you will be the first to know about this book. But God is so good. I went through this full journey of 2019, and until now I've been going through a journey of myself, of just God just doing some serious cleansing in my heart, and I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful. And despite of, like I said, I do not condone divorce, because let me tell you guys, I fought. I fought like I never fought before. I felt like in this marriage, but I'm never going to fight for someone to love me. And I will fight for somebody who loves me, but I'm never going to fight for someone to love me, because I've done that so many times in the past, fighting for love, and people are not fighting for me back. And so I thank God for this journey. I thank God for my process. I thank God for creating a space for me and my baby where I feel safe, secure, and I can sleep well at night, honey. Okay. Yeah. So I really hope that this helps somebody, this journey. Like I said, I will be giving more details in the book, because that book, honey child, whew, that's some serious tea. I'm gonna give y'all some tea in that one. But I'm excited. I'm excited for this journey. I wanted to share this with you guys. But that risk thing, man, that's the thing that really got me, guys. Just like, you don't take no risk on your heart, honey. You can take a risk on a business plan, but not on your heart. That's a big difference, okay? But I have arrived. I have arrived. So I'm excited. I hope this helps somebody. Just know, you fight for somebody who loves you, not to love you. Thumbs up, subscribe. If you want to know about this book release, below. Bye.